Welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie. I run Green Witch Wrapping, a wire wrap and crystal company. Today I'll be showing you how to make a durable elastic crystal bead bracelet. You'll need some beads and some elastic. I use Stretch Magic. There is different widths, which are what the 0.5 and 0.8 millimeter, the numbers at the top represent. So as you can see, the 0.5 is on the left and the 0.8 is on the right. 0.8 is thicker, it doesn't have quite as much stretch. Most of the time I use 0.5 because I do go back through the beads more than once. I'm using labradorite and peach moonstone beads. You'll need about 20 to 30. It'll just depend on how big the bracelet needs to be and how big the beads are. You'll also need a wire bead threader. You don't need it, but it does make it a lot easier. And you'll also want some jewelry or bead glue. I'll be using 0.5 millimeter Stretch Magic today. The length of your elastic is going to vary, but I would say start with about a foot or so of elastic, a foot and a half, and we'll start by threading it through our bead threader. You don't need this for the first step, but it definitely makes the project a lot easier as we progress. And all you're going to do is just start threading the beads and stacking them up. Nothing too crazy, and you just kind of want to keep it centered. You want to keep your each side of your elastic the same length. And that's all. You'll just keep threading until it gets to your desired size, and you'll want to make sure again that the elastics are pretty much close to even. You don't want one side a lot longer than the other. Now all we're going to do is tie a simple knot, but here's the thing, you don't want to tie it too tight because it kind of gets this awkward bunching effect to where it looks really stiff and it doesn't really fit right. Of course, the example that I'm trying to show, when I pull it really tight, it's not really working. But if it happens to you, you'll probably see what I mean. The beads just don't really sit correctly. If you don't run into that problem, then don't worry about it. If it looks fine, it looks fine. And I just knot two simple knots to get the bracelet started. And we're going to tie it really snug and make sure it sits right, and then we're going to take the beading needle and put it on one side of the elastic. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot since we tied a knot which direction you choose to go, but you will start threading the needle in one direction, keeping in mind that you're going to stop in the middle because we're going to take the other elastic and do the same thing and kind of meet in the middle with the two and tie a knot. So right now I am starting to thread the needle through the beads. You can put them through one, you can put them through two. If you start putting them through like 3 to 5 beads, sometimes your elastic can get stuck. So again, it just kind of depends what size elastic you're using and what size beads you're using. And again, you want to keep in mind that we're going to do this about 1 to 2 more times. So if you use a really thick elastic, we can't thread it more than once or twice. So I just finished one side and I'm going to start threading the other side, and as you can see, I kind of finished in the halfway point with the right side. Now, once you meet both threads and the halfway point, you'll tie another knot. I usually do 2 to 3 simple knots like we did in the beginning. And you can leave your bracelet as is if you feel comfortable like this, and depending on the size threading you use. However, I'm gonna do what we just did all over again. I like to thread my bracelets like 2 to 3 times. You don't have to do that, you can just do 2, but I'm gonna do a 3rd time. This does make it slightly less stretchy, but it does make it a lot more durable. So I met in the middle, I tied the knot, and I actually went a few more beads. As you can see, they're not right next to each other. I kind of went a few more beads to the side. Now I'm taking the bead threader and I'm going to put it right through the elastics. There's like multiple elastics connecting the beads, and I'm going to push it through and thread the elastic through it to tie a simple knot. Now, that probably looked a little crazy, but I'm just simply threading the elastic and kind of making a knot through the elastics connecting the beads. And I'll do that 2 to 3 times. So what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So the other elastic, I'm going to be doing the same thing. And once I'm done with that, I'll take my bead glue, and it did have some that had this little nozzle attachment, but they dried out, and this big tube does not have a nozzle attachment like this. So I'm just working with what I've got, and I'm just going to take the glue from this cardboard with the nozzle and just work with it. I do wash the glue of the beads before it dries, and I kind of try to get them like in the bead, and then I'll let it dry, cut the extra strings, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave your suggestions down below. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media, and have a great day. Bye!